Welcome! In this video we're going to do a solo playthrough along with showing the basics of how to play Avatar the Last Airbender, Aang's Destiny, a cooperative deck building game published by the Op. So down at the table, like the title said, this is a cooperative deck building game and it's familiar with two others published by the Op, which was Harry Potter, Hogwarts Battle, and the Toy Story. So basically 2 to 4 players, ages 10 and up, 60 minutes, will be working together to defeat all the adversaries and complete all the objectives before the Fire Nation can travel to the inn and capture Aang. So this is a deck building game that will progressively get harder. So there's 7 boxes here. What we have here is the contents from box 1. And for setup, like I said, the game's for 2 to 4 players, but if you play two-handed or play with 2 characters, you can play solo. The base 4 characters, got Aang, Appa, Katara, and Sokka. And each of these are going to show you what airbending they can do, their affiliation, and the skills they have. I'm going to choose to play with Aang and Appa, so they'll go back to the box for now. This space up at the top is made for character cards, and then you can put turn reference cards here, and of course there's one for each player, but just for space I'm just going to put the turn reference up here, put our characters off to the side. But on here is showing our airbending skills. So we have, or skills of bending, we have airbending and water bending. So we'll take the tokens, one of each, to put on here to show that we can use those cards, which here are those bending cards. And Appa has airbending. And of course we will start with 10 health. Also, each character has a deck of 10 cards that they will start with. So you take that deck of cards, give it a shuffle, and draw 5 cards for your starting hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And for Aang, give that a shuffle and get 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have our characters set up to play. Now for the rest of the board, we have our Fire Nation cards. Give these a shuffle. These are all bad for us. Whoops. So we'll get to see those shortly. Then our adversaries. First game starts with 5. So we'll reveal Prince, showing he's got 6 health. His abilities, each time an effect adds any number of that. So whenever the boat moves, the active hero is going to lose 2 health. And a reward when we put 6 damage on him is we get to move the boat back 2 spaces. And these cards go in a specific order. So they go pretty much from 1.1 to 1.7, but they do, well actually, no, 1.8. They do have other cards in here that are rewards. So it shows that's reward 6, and that number there shows that this card can be used in games 1 through 7, where some other cards will be taken out. So we will put that down and flip over the first objective. Escape Fire Nation at the South Pole. So we have to assign a purpose and attack here, and a reward for doing that is we get to move on. No real reward. Then we have our map. So this is just 2 cards showing a map. As long as the boat is in spaces 1 through 9, we're going to draw 1 Fire Nation card at the beginning of the turn. If it goes through 10 to 15, we'll draw 2. And oddly enough, if it goes to 15, the game is over. So we'll set up the map, put the ship on space 1, got that set. So now it's for setting up our supply or support cards. So basically all the cards that have bending, we're going to put them in the same stack. So these 2 areas will not be used for the first game. We'll give this a shuffle and put that on top. Then we'll take the top card down here. Do the same thing for our air cards. And then take all the other types of cards, allies and items, and shuffle them. And fill up these 4 spaces. Got some seal jerky, some nuts, an ally, and a warrior fan. One thing I was hoping would happen, so in this game, hypothetically, if we would have pulled over multiples of the same one, say this card would have been seal jerky, we would have made a stack up here and continued bringing out different cards, but we have a good variety. So that's the setup. So the way game turns go is we'll start, reveal and resolve a Fire Nation card or cards. So we'll check that to see how many we're going to draw, flip that over and resolve it, then resolve adversary abilities. So that kind of triggers itself. Review objective effects. For the first box, I don't think there are any effects. Then we're going to play support cards and take hero actions. So we're going to collect purpose and attack and assign them where we think the best spot is. Then we end our turn, place our played and unplayed cards on the discard pile, discard unused tokens, and then draw 5 new cards. And if this spot's empty, we'll bring out a new adversary, and the same thing over here, bringing out another objective. The other thing to mention, I guess, is looking at the cards. Of course, we have the name, what it's going to do. This is how much purpose or money it takes to purchase a card. When we get a card, just goes straight to our discard pile, and they will refill at the end of the turn. And I think that's enough to allow us to get started. So we will start with Aang, revealing and resolving 1 Fire Nation card, and it's 1 because we're in spaces 1 through 9 on this. That is all heroes lose a health, and we cannot draw extra cards this turn. And then his is each time the ship moves, we take 2 damage. Didn't happen, so we're on to playing cards. So we've got an air ball. We can heal 1 or get an attack. I think we're going to take the attack. So we can place them there until we decide to use them. Got an air blast. We'll gain an attack if we defeat an adversary this turn. Any 1 hero gains a health. So we'll take another attack. This one gives us purpose. We may put any bending cards you acquire on top of your deck instead of in your discard pile. So normally when you purchase a card, it goes to discard. This is, if we get a bending card, goes top of our deck. This one gets some purpose, or we can remove it from the game, basically, to get 3. And this one gives us 2, or all heroes gain 1. We're going to remove this from the game and give ourselves 3. And then we'll give all heroes 1 with that one. Now at the end of our turn, any of these that aren't spent goes away. But that's just the end of our turn. So any tokens over here that weren't spent stays until the end of their turn. So we have 2 attack. We're going to assign 1 up here and 1 over here on the prince. I do like drawing cards, but I also like hitting for more damage. Let's see, if I split that up, I've got 3 and 3. Or I could go 4 and waste 1. Yeah, I think we'll spin 3. And because of the staff, this will go on top of our deck. And do we go for another whip? I think just the fact that it goes on top of my deck this turn, we will. And since we have a duplicate, that's going to go down here. Then that one goes down here. And of course, if any stacks go empty, you're just out and can't purchase any more of that type for the end of the rest of the game. So we've played all our cards. End of our turn, these go to our discard pile. We draw 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We already know what 2 of them are. We didn't clear anything, so those stay in place, and we pass turn. So now Appa goes through these same steps. All here is lose 1, cannot draw extra cards. Down to 8. Ability didn't trigger, and now we get to play cards. I'll go ahead and use that for the 3 money and remove it from play. Sorry, 3 purpose. Hey, we got another one. It's going to be a big turn. We'll take 3 more. And then a tail blast for 2 attack. The next hero may ignore the effect of any one adversary currently in play. And just as a reminder for me, I'm going to put that there. And then that gets us 1 more. So we are going to take a purpose to put up here, which will complete this, and our reward is none. Just knowing we've done something should be a reward enough. Throw 2 attack over here, so that's 3 out of 6. And then spend 4. We're going to take an air kick, and that goes to our discard pile. Then we have 3 left, which we will spend. Appa looks hungry. He'll get some seal jerky. All right, ending our turn. These get discarded. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's our next turn. This refills with some more jerky, and that moves over. Visit the Southern Air Temple, sign to purpose there. Appa gains a reward card 1, Aang gains reward card 2. Then over to Aang. Active hero loses a health and discards a card. So we're taking a beating. I think that's going to be, yes, Offer Aid will be the card we discard. And let me just, next hero may ignore the effect. Yep, so we get to ignore that, even though it didn't trigger. All right, Offer Aid, get some purpose. I'll go ahead and go through the helping hand, remove it from the game to get 3. Then Water Whip. So basically any character can purchase this card and use the top ability, because if it doesn't have, they don't have that bending, they can use that. But down here they have to have that ability. So we've got that. So Aang using this gets him to attack. Appa using it, he just gets the top ability, well, where Aang gets both. So we get that one there and 2 attack. And then we have the same card again. So we are going to put more attack than it takes up here, which will defeat. And now reward is the boat goes back 2 spaces. Do I want to defeat it then? Yeah, we want to get through it. So the reward gets nothing because it can't go back off the map. And then we've got 6. So once again, I think we're going to go the 3 and 3 route. We'll get a Water Whip. So there's just 3 of each type. So that does not refill. And then for this 3, we will purchase some nuts, an ender turn, drawing 2, shuffle 1, 2, 3 more. So our next turn, that's not going to refill, this does. And we get Uncle, so that's going to make the boat move. All right, over to Appa. The boat moves twice, 1, 2, and then he makes it move 1 more. So it went from 1 to 4, had moved the whole game. We defeat the prince, and now the boat's a moving. So that was that for 2, that for 1. Now we get to play our cards. Offering aid gives us purpose, and even more purpose. Any one hero draws a card. Our turn's not turning out to be too effective. We will choose Aang to draw a card. And then that pushes the boat back a space. So we end up with 3. And I think we're going to assign 2 up there. So Appa gains reward 1. So you can see down here that's reward 1 and good for boxes 1 through 3. So that goes to the discard pile. And Aang gains the next one. So that's good through boxes 1 through 7. And with our 1 purpose, that just goes away at the end of the turn. So we discard, shuffle, one, 2, 3, 4, 5. And reveal. Now we need to visit the island, signing 2, and that gets Sokka a reward. And for the characters that we're not using, basically we'll put it with that character outside the game. So if we use that character in one of the next boxes, we'll still have that reward to use. All right, Aang. Oh goodness, the boat's moving now, so it's moving 2 from this and 1 from that. So it's sitting on 3, 4, 5, 6. Use our water whip, so we get purpose, and since we are an airbender, we get to attack. Do we want health or an attack? Let's see, that gives us an attack, and if we defeat the adversary, which has 7 health, any one hero gains 1, so we've got 3 there. We can only get 1 more, so not getting defeated. So there's 2 more purpose. We'll give all heroes 1 on this one. And for that one, I guess we will heal for 1. So we'll spend 3 up here. Then we're going to spend 3 for some jerky and assign 1 up top. End our turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This gets replaced. More jerky. All right, Appa's turn. Active hero loses 2 health. Ouch, ouch. Move the ship a space. So it was at 6, now to 7. That gets us purpose, more purpose. We've got air bending, so that gets us 2 purpose and 2 attack. Next hero may ignore the effect of anyone baddie in play. I'll once again just use that as a reminder. That's not what the token's for, but that's how my brain needs to work. And so we can get up to 6 or 7. I think we'll just give everyone 1. All right, 2 attack. Then we're going to spend 4 to pick up an air kick and toss 1 up there. This gets, well, immediately that goes away. Soka gets the reward, so that just goes out of the game. And that gets discarded. End of turn, we're going to lose that. Discard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got some jerky to eat. Now we need to complete the King's challenges. Attack by assigning 2 attack. All heroes gain a health. Okay. Aang's turn. Fireblade, active hero, loses a health, and we need to discard a card, which is going to be the Offer Aid. Then, Water Whip, purpose, 2 attack. Water Whip, purpose, 2 attack. Offer Aid for 1 purpose and a purpose. We put bending cards we acquire on top of her deck. Okay, so that's at 5. We put 2 there. That is going to take care of the uncle. Of course, I didn't move the boat because we got to ignore it. But now our reward is move the boat backwards. So it goes from 7 to 6. And any hero gains 2 health. So Appa goes up to 8. Then we will assign 2 attack up here. So all heroes gain a health. And we've got 5. We are going to spend 4 for the shield. Gets us a purpose, and all heroes draw a card. And this goes on top because of our staff. And that's going to be our turn. So discard pile. Draw 2. Do some shuffling. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we get rescue the Earthbender, so we need to put 3 purpose there. And the next one coming out is the Commander. Active here loses a health. So Appa, on his turn, is going to Fire Stream, lose 2 health. Bing, bing. Then lose another one. Ouch. And then take his turn. Purpose, Tail Blast for 2 attack. Any one hero gains 2. He will pick himself. Yip, yip. Move the ship back a space. Offer aid. So we'll put both of those up there and to attack over there. Quick and easy. Draw one, shuffle. One, two, three, four. Then for Aang's turn, find the Avatar, moving the ship 2 spaces, 1, 2, then we take a damage down to 7, and now we get to play. Offering aid for 1. Any one hero gains 2 health. Max him out. Water Whip, we get 1 there and 2 attack. Then we get an attack and heal for 1, and that, and everyone draws a card. Air kick, and we get the staff. So 3 attack is enough to defeat. So all heroes gain a health. Up to 9, he's maxed out. We are going to put 1 up there. So Katara gets reward card 4. And we have 3 left. If we purchase from over here, it goes on top of her deck. We're doing decent in health. But these are the only cards we can purchase. I think I'm going to get some jerky in case we start taking a beating. All right, ending our turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go to Appa. So before Appa goes, got the king coming out. And then we need to appease someone by assigning 2 health. Reward is all heroes gain a purpose. So now Appa. All right, we've seen all the bad cards. Active hero loses 2. Should have revealed one of those, but it's going to trigger Fire Nation Soldier. Each time a card, well, one of those or an adversary causes a hero to discard a card, that hero loses a health. All right. Air kick, 2 purpose, 2 attack. Tail blast, 2 attack. Any one hero draws a card. We will pick Aang. Then next hero may ignore the effect. Put out my reminder. And then 2 purpose, 2 attack. Then we're going to take the 2, because that's going to take us to 6 purpose, which we can use to get the king. And then we've got so much attack, but it only takes 4 to defeat. And when defeated, all heroes gain a health. And that's all we can do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Replace that card. And this will come out, our last one. Fire Nation Ship. Any one hero loses a health. Reward, everyone draws a card. So like I said, we need to defeat all these and complete all of those. So now it is Aang's turn, since we've gone through this stack. All right, shuffling this up. Oops. Reshuffle since I'm dropping cards. And reveal. The boat moves 2 from 7 to 9. Then any one hero loses a health, which I forget if that was there or not, so I'll just choose herself. All right, we've got 3 offer aids, which gets us 3 purpose. And we've got our water whip for purpose and 2 attack. I think we're going to play this. Lose up to 3 health. For each health lost, gain your choice of purpose or attack. And we cannot lose our last health with this. We're going to save 3. So we gain 3 attack. So we've got 5 attack. We're going to spend all that up top. So all heroes will draw a card. So we get an air blast. And over here, a yip yip. We get another attack. And if you defeat an adversary, any one hero gains a health, but I think we've already defeated that too soon. Let's see, we can get up to 6. We'll just give all heroes 1. The attack we can do nothing with. We've got 5 to purchase with. I think we're going to spend 4 to pick up a warrior fan. And we will just lose those. These go to our discard pile. We're going to draw 2. And now I've made the mistake of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got to separate cards now. All right, I think we got that right. One, two, 3. So there's our 5 cards. We will replace down here. We don't have any more adversaries to come out, so we're done with those. So then over to Appa's turn. We are in spot 9, which is still 1 card. Active hero loses 2 health. Then we get to play cards. We're going to push the ship back a space. Offer aid 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Any one hero gains 2 health, but instead of putting it on a hero, we're going to put it up here. So all heroes gain a purpose. And now we have 6 to purchase with. I think we'll spend 4. And these 2 will just go away. And shuffle. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, Aang's turn. Active hero loses a health and we discard a card. Well, yes, and that comes out. Need to assign 2 purpose and 2 attack. We will discard the air blast for that. Then for our turn, think I'm just going to start putting them in my discard pile, so don't make that mistake again. So we got purpose to attack. Do the same thing again. Here we have options. I'm going to gain a health. And here, split our money up. So we're going to take 2 and 2 to assign up top. Aang, as a reward, gets card 5. Avatar Roku. Nice. And we will lose this. Last turn I didn't add that up. All right, so ending our turn, discard 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Flip this over. I need to assign 3 attack. Go to Appa's turn. Active hero loses 2 health. We get 2, so officially not in the discard pile. Tail Blast, we get 2 attack. And ignore the effect of things that aren't in the game and 1 more money. We'll assign 2 up there, and with 4, we'll pick this up and replace it with another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next turn, top card, active hero loses a health, discards a card. We'll discard aid, then play our whip. We've got 2 offer aids. And we're not going to play that because we don't need to. We'll put an attack up here, which triggers the card. Katara gets card 6. Waterbending Scroll. And we will end the turn. Both these are done, which means we have won the scenario. So Aang and Appa made it through. So we are good to go into box 2, and like I said, these are all increasing in difficulty, so if you thought this was easy, this was the easiest of 7. The game does recommend, if you're very good at deck building, you can start with box 3, but I wanted to go through the process, showing the setup, basics of gameplay, and I believe I've done that. So as always, hope you enjoyed this playthrough, so please click on the like button below, and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.